Gorgeous night for baseball here at AT&T Park as we get ready for Game 2 of this 3-game series. The first place Diamondbacks taking on the Giants. Hi again, everybody. I'm Dwayne Kuiper. Alongside me is Mike Krukow. Well, the perfect formula last night. That's how the Giants win their games. Solid pitching, get some key hits, play good defense, and they're looking for more of the same tonight. And tonight they got Matt Cain, who's coming off a couple of tough outings.
Well, indeed, the last 2 outings that Matt Cain has thrown, combined, he's thrown 3 innings and given up 11 earned runs and 2 losses. But historically, you would think that this would be a pretty good matchup for Matt Cain, 13-6 lifetime against these Diamondbacks, and he's always pitched well against them. And Matt Cain is one of those guys that when he goes through a little bit of adversity, he always seems to come back stronger. He's had 8 days rest between starts, and we all expect him to do well. So let's hope Matt Cain can be Matt Cain, and let's hope the offense can get untracked.
Buster Posey at first base tonight. Guillermo Quiroz will do the catching. All right, when we come back, we will have the starting lineups on the very first pitch of this game right after this. Of all types filing into the ballpark. Our game time weather is presented by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. Get to the beach. The admission-free boardwalk is now open daily. 63 degrees here at the yard. We have winds at 10 miles per hour. 65% is the humidity. And hey, the forecast is fog is on its way. We'll do lineups after Adam Eaton steps in. Adam Eaton will lead this ball game off, hitting at .250. And the first pitch of the ball game is a called strike. Well, we just started at 6:04. A minute early. 0-1 to Eaton. 0-2 to Eaton.
Now, Mike DeMuro, the plate umpire, is one of those umpires that is a very steady zone, but it's very, very tight. It's a hitter's umpire. Always liked him because what you get the first pitch of the game, you're going to get the last pitch of the game. It stays that way. But there are very few corner strikes.
And that's tapped foul. Eaton just got a piece of it. Eaton last night went 2 for 4. One of his hits was a bunt single off of Jose Mijares.
Very difficult to see right now. The shadows across the infield, glare on the batter's eye at center.
Same thing, just a little piece.
Conditions totally favor the pitcher. Carrying this field right now is the left field. Right field, you really have to catch it to get it out of the ballpark to right side.
And another 0-2 pitch to Eaton. And Eaton finally swings and misses. And he is tagged out at home plate. And that's how this game gets started. All right, let's take a look at the rest of the Diamondbacks lineup. You just saw Eaton. Now it's Parra, Goldschmidt, and then Hill. Hill's got good numbers against Kane. Montero, Prado. The former Giant Cody Ross will hit 7th, and it's Pennington, followed by Miley.
On the hill tonight for the Giants, Matt Cain making start number 20 in the year, 5-6 with a 5.06 ERA against these Diamondbacks. 13-6 with a 3.39 ERA. Great lifetime numbers. Fastball that goes low 90s, changeup, he'll cut it, he'll sink it, big curveball, slider. He'll throw a lot of different movements at a hitter.
So here's Parra. Parra drives this one down the right field line. That's going to be extra bases. It hits off of archway number 2. And stopping at second is Parra. On the first pitch, he doubles.
Let's take a look at the defense the Giants will employ tonight behind Kane, starting in the outfield from left to right. You're looking at Jeff Francoeur, Andres Torres, Hunter Pence, Tony Abreu, Pablo Sandoval on the left side, with Crawford getting a day off with a minor foot injury. Marco Scudero joined by Buster Posey on the right side of the infield, and Guillermo Quiros will be in the squad putting down the signs. Great arms on the corners tonight. Perhaps one of the, in fact, the number 1 and 2 assist guys since 2008 are in the Giants outfield tonight, Francoeur and Hunter Pence.
So here's Goldschmidt. Goldschmidt on the ground to Abreu. And Abreu kicks it. And Abreu throws. And they got him. I did not see that coming.
I had E6 written. I didn't think with the speed of Goldschmidt. A lot of people look at him and think he's average speed. He is not an average runner. He's got a little bit better than average speed, especially for a guy his size. And this is an all-arm, off-balance throw. And it gives you an idea of just what type of arm he has. And we're going to make it our X-Mo, brought to you by your local Toyota dealer. Abreu, with a little desperation and a little fear, can put a little extra on your fastball. He does indeed get him.
So here's Aaron Hill. First pitch strike. Hill last night went 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts. At third is Parra with 2 outs. Oh, and 2.
Now that's a slider that we did not see in the previous 2 starts. That one's got some pretty good bite to it. And the slider's the one pitch that is hardest on your arm. And when your arm is tired, that's the first pitch you lose.
Taking is Hill this time. It's 1 and 2. Giants winning last night behind Chad Godin. They shut out the Diamondbacks 2-0. Heroes with a nice block.
I think he didn't know if he had it or not. Sometimes you catch a ball in the web and you don't have the sensation you have when it catches on the sweet spot. And you get a little panicky wondering if you got it, especially with a runner at third base and you're the catcher.
And they're going to say Hill went around, and that'll end the inning. So Kane with a couple of strikeouts. Parra left standing at third. Giants are coming up.
area is brought to you by Jack in the Box. Go big at a Jack in the Box near you with Jack's new Big Stack Burger. And by Toyota. Do the math and save at your local Toyota dealer.
Giants are coming up here in the bottom of the first inning, no score. And here's Bruce Bochy's lineup. It'll be Torres, Scudero, and then Buster Posey. Good numbers against Miley. Sandoval, Pence, and then Francoeur making his second start in a Giants uniform. Abreu, Quiroz, and Matt King.
On the hill tonight for the Arizona Diamondbacks will be the left-hander Wade Miley, 6 feet tall, 218-pounder in his second year at the big league level. Out of Loranger, Louisiana. And this is what he has done in 19 starts. 6-7 with 4.01. Now, when you're taking your at-bats against Miley, I mean, he's a guy that's going to give you a low 90s fastball, curveball, slider, changeup. He'll sink the fastball. He'll cut the fastball. Give you a lot of different types of movement. Lifetime against the Giants 1-2 with a 3.32 ERA. The defense behind Miley tonight will set up this way. It'll be Ross, Eaton, and Parr. That's your outfield. Pennington, Prado left side. Hill, Goldschmidt right side, and Montero in the squad putting down the signs.
So Torres takes the first pitch for a ball. Torres, Scudero, Posey. And Torres fouls this one off of Montero. Montero trying to shake it off. Torres got into the game yesterday late, and he went 1 for 1. 1-2. His history against Miley's pretty good. 5 for 9 with a double and a triple. A lot of breaking balls from Kane, and now Miley. Maybe it's the toughest pitch to see. 2-2.
Well, Miley will get a lot of strikeouts down the dirt. You'll see him drop curveballs and sliders between home plate and the catcher. A lot of 2-strike counts. I mean, that's how he gets you to swing.
Got him. Here's our Geico quote on their first All-Star experience from Sergio Romo. It's a privilege just to be here. This could be the only time I ever make an All-Star team, so I enjoyed it. Scudero. Every time I turn my head, I see a really good player. It's pretty neat. I was just happy to be here. I enjoyed it. And Bumgarner, I'm just excited to be here to get to watch everything. Here's Scudero. Scudero hitting .313. Couple of home runs, 22 driven in. Went 0 for 3 last night with a walk. Buster Posey to follow. The 3-0 to Scudero is low, ball 4.
He was not going to swing until he had a strike on him. He'll go up there a lot, and every once in a while, especially early in a ball game, you're going to get a 4-pitch gift. Just because you had it in your mind, you're going to take a pitch. It's not a bad idea, especially first time you take it at bat. Nobody on base.
Buster Posey an RBI in the first inning yesterday. Here he takes one high and away. We mentioned Mike DeMuro behind the dish. It's Scott Berry, Alfonso Marquez, and Ted Barrett, and that's from first to third. And that gets away, and Scudero is going to move on down to second base.
That's a big league wild pitch.
That is a big league wild pitch. I was going to say the same thing.
I mean, that thing went away from home plate about 60 feet. kicks away from Montero. And we always talk about fastballs and splits are the hardest to block because they're unpredictable. And this one skims and stays down, catches the shin guard of Montero, and then look how far it went away.
And a strike. So Miley comes back in after falling behind 2-0. We gave you the numbers earlier. Buster Posey 5 for 10, a couple of doubles and a home run. Lifetime against Wade Miley. Nice block by Montero. It's 3 balls and 1 strike.
Now right now, Miley's out of whack, especially out of stretch. Important thing here is stay in the strike zone. Don't help him out.
Sandoval watching from the on-deck circle. 3-1 to Posey. Mr. Posey bounces this one. It's a fair ball and a long throw, and they got him. And a nice play on both ends.
Well, once I saw the angle of where the ball was bouncing in front of Goldschmidt and how it was going to come up, I knew it was going to be a difficult play. I didn't know Goldschmidt was going to be able to do it. And really, as you point out, 2 great plays, one from Martin Prado, but the backside of this play from Goldschmidt, I think, is the play. Because this is not an easy pick at all, and he stays with it beautifully to get the out. The more you see Goldschmidt, the more you appreciate his athleticism. He really is a good athlete.
So here's Sandoval hitting 266. First pitch strike. Sandoval 1 for 4 in the Giants win last night. The Giants had 8 hits last night. Arizona a total of 5. Hunter Pence to follow. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. A scoring opportunity for the Giants here in the first. The D-backs had one in the top of this inning. Blocked again by Montero. 2 balls and a strike.
Yeah, he just earned his paycheck on that block.
That was a stud.
That hurt. Ball bounces out in front of home plate that far. You have no clue what it's going to do. It hits it right in the boiler. Nice job. Your glove, you don't even think about catching it with your glove. You just think of your chest protector being the glove. Can't do it better than that.
And a base hit down the left field line, and that'll score Scudero. Sandoval into second base with a double. Moving very well, I might add.
Yeah, it's such a big key the second half. And we talk about the one thing that Giants had a problem with being another key, and that's the 2-out base hit with runners in score position. And this is going to be our Ford right choice because you just can't ever get enough of these swings of the bat right here. 2-out knock, and the Giants get on the board. Last night it was Hunter Pence doing it. Tonight it's Pablo Sandoval. And these 2 guys have to be a real force offensively in the second half for the Giants to make a comeback.
So here's Pence. Pence at 265. His next RBI will be number 50 as he takes down low. Couple of hits last night for Hunter Pence. He knocked in a run in the first inning with a 2-out base hit. And this is low as well, 2-0.
Stay in the strike zone.
Jeff Francoeur to follow. Packed house tonight on a Saturday night. Montero had when he could catch, and he couldn't hang on to it. Nearly took the strike away from Miley. So Francoeur is a pitch away from coming up.
Now it's been a stress inning since the 4-pitch walk to Scudero. And Miley just does not look comfortable out of the stretch at all.
Foul back. Three and two. And Pence out swinging to end the inning. Giants on the board. They get a 2-out base hit from Pablo Sandoval after one. It's 1-0 Giants.
Brought to you by Heffernan Insurance Brokers. Insurance and financial services for you and your business. Visit hefins.com.
Well, the Giants and Reds will open up a series on Monday night. That's July 22nd. The Tuesday, 23rd, is now an old-fashioned doubleheader. First game will start at 4:05. Giants will wear the road game in Game 1, home in Game 2. So check it out. Tickets are still available. Hey, buy a ticket, you get to see 2 games. Visit sfgiants.com.
2 games for the price of 1.
Here's Montero, who takes high, 1 ball and no strikes.
And an op-ed I've been asked about 20 times about the doubleheader on Tuesday. And people have to be reassured that this is an old-fashioned doubleheader. This is not a day-night. This is 2 games for the price of 1.
Yeah, they're not going to kick you out after the first game.
They are not. You're going to stay here. It'll be a 25-minute break, and then you tee it up for the second game. Just the way we used to do it.
Well, right now, King's having a hard time throwing a strike to Montero. Prado to follow. He took a little off at 91 to get it in. Montero with a foul out of play, hitting .227, 8 big flies, 33 driven in. Now, both Kane and Montero have played against each other for quite a while. 30, or make that 51 at bats for Montero lifetime against Kane. And he walked them on a fastball away. All right, let's check in with Amy G. Amy?
All right, Dwayne, and my good news for Ryan Vogelsong. He's coming along nicely. Faced hitters today, threw about 35 pitches, said he felt really good. The Giants are specifically looking at Ryan's arm strength and to see if there are any effects on that pinky from throwing the ball. Bruce Bochy said the tentative plan, he's going to start a rehab next Tuesday in Arizona rookie ball, then head to San Jose and then Richmond. Tentative comeback date, August 9th. Gentlemen?
Plus, he was surly.
Yeah, plus he just struck out Sean Dunston. So what does that prove?
He can wear out guys that are 50 years old. That's good. That's a good thing.
Here's Prado who takes a strike. At least I think that was Sean Dunston. No balls in one strike. Prado hitting .250. Just a bit off the plate. Prado in the game yesterday went 0 for 3.
It's great. I mean, pitchers are pitchers. And Vogelsong's going to pitch a regular start. I mean, he gets into his game face mode about 2 days out, and you don't even go near him. And that's the way he was today, throwing a simulated one. And I had to laugh. People were walking by. How'd you throw today? Fine. How'd it come out of your hand? Not bad. Throw your pitches? Yes. How many did you throw? 35. That was it.
On the ground towards the hole. The ball flattens out, and they get the out at second. A nice play by Abreu, who got a tricky hop.
Well, it changed the play halfway into the play. He was expecting a ball to come up high, and once it hit the cut of the grass, watch it flatten out. And that's what changes the play. And through it all, the concentration was good. It goes a perfect strike over to Scudero to get the force.
Yeah, that's a good play.
Instead of a high backhander, it becomes a grass cutter right at the shoe top on a low backhander. That's much tougher play.
Here's Cody Ross, who takes low. Cody Ross, a pinch hit appearance last night, hit the ball well in the 8th inning, but he hit it right to Andres Torres, who had to go back and make a nice play. Pops this one up, and that's going to be a souvenir.
Yeah, he had a pretty good pitch to hit, but that's a pretty lazy slider or a cutter. The one thing we know about Cody Ross, I mean, he likes the ball up. He likes the cutter. He likes hanging sliders if they're out over the play at the belt. That's where that last one was.
Prado's got 1 steal. He's been thrown out 4 times. Outfield straight away. Good pitch, 1 and 2.
Like a front door cutter, maybe even a backup slider. There you see the outfield. It's pretty straight away. More depth in left field than right field. And the infield, pretty straight away.
Down low.
I always think it's interesting when a team plays against the guy they had as to how they defend against him, because they know his tendencies. They know where he hits the ball, what type of pitchers he pulls, what type of pitchers he'll go to right field with. And this is about as straightaway set as you can employ.
Kane keeping an eye on Martin Prado. Hit well into left center field. Andres Torres on the move. He will make the catch up against the wall. Nice play, Andres Torres. Cody Ross can't believe it.
He cannot. He thought he had one. That's the side of the field where you're getting carry. And he catches a single backspin. The way he let go of the bat, he knows his ballpark. He thought he had one. And look at the sun he had to deal with. Wind, sun, nothing easy about this play. And look at the concentration. Never blinked in his route to the ball. Puts it right in the sweet spot of the glove. And the agony of AT&T Park for home run hitters.
Here's Cliff Pennington. Pennington takes a strike, hitting .224, a home run, 15 driven in.
Nice pitch with that cut, taking out that outside location.
Pennington has 3 doubles against Kane in his career, 3 for 14. By the way, I talked to an old friend today.
Who's that?
Our director, Jim Lynch, who had knee surgery this past Wednesday. So we would like to send him our best, with the emphasis on old.
Did Doc Ock get him?
Doc Ock got him.
Dr. Akazuki, the Giants orthopedic surgeon.
Jim mentioned he thought Doc got the right knee.
Well, that could be an issue. You're in good hands with Doc Ock.
Oh, the best. So anyway, Jim, I know you're watching. I think you're coming back maybe tomorrow or Monday. And, we'll look forward to that. Two balls, 2 strikes. Pennington gets a pitch out over the plate, and he fouls it straight back. Beautiful night. Just your typical San Francisco night, or maybe a sweatshirt or a light jacket. Now, Buster Posey right near the bag, and that'll end the inning. Leadoff walk does not hurt Matt Cain, and Jeff Francoeur will lead things off.
brought to you by Sonoma Raceway. The NHRA Sonoma Nationals at Sonoma Raceway, July 26th through 28th. For tickets, go to racesonoma.com.
Giants scored a run in the first inning. It's 1-0. Here's Jeff Francoeur.
Oh, yeah. Smiles on everybody's faces tonight. Great night for baseball.
Thank you.
Francoeur lines this one, but it's right at Eaton. So on one pitch, Francoeur's retired.
What Giants fans are going to find out about Jeff Francoeur is he does love that first pitch.
So here's Tony Abreu. Abreu at 288, a home run, 7 driven in. And a first pitch strike with Guillermo Quiroz on deck. 1-0 Giants. Fouled out of play, 0-2. Miley just throwing strikes, just pounding the strike zone.
He's much better out of the windup than he is the stretch right now. I mean, the stretch may come along as the game wears on. Good 0-2 pitch, smart.
The 1-2 coming up. Hit into right center field, but moving over is Parra. He will put it away. It's a pretty good outfield right now for the D-backs.
Yeah, they got some serious range out there, especially in center and right. Because Geraldo Parra is a Gold Glover. He could play center field. And Adam Eaton, we haven't seen a lot of his arm. They say it's an outstanding one. He made a very good relay throw last night, which was really an absolute perfect relay. The Giants scored a run on it, but they executed as good as you possibly can. But you're right. Good outfield.
Heroes takes a strike, hitting at 212, a home run, 5 driven in. Right now just trying to get on for Matt King, who's on deck. And this is tapped to Martin Prado. And that'll end the inning. So a nice inning for Wade Miley. And for the D-backs, it'll be Miley to lead things off.
Brought to you by The Smurfs 2, in theaters July 31st.
Well, Tuesday, August 6th is Jewish Heritage Night presented by Touro University of California. Your special event package includes a ticket to the game versus the Brewers and a collector's edition Giants Driver. So don't miss award-winning artist Matisyahu as he will be on hand at the pregame party in Seals Plaza performing an acoustic set. I would like to see that. For tickets, call 415-972-2298 or go to sfgiants.com/special events. Matisyahu, he's fantastic if you have not seen him.
Here's Miley. Miley can hit a little bit. It snowballs and a strike as Kane drops one low. Miley's 4 for 35. He's got a home run and he's got 5 RBIs. And I guess that pitch is high in the eyes of DeMuro, so it's 2 balls and 1 strike. Two and 2. Bacon wrapped hot dogs.
Low fat and they're good for you. I want to get that. I want to get 4 of them.
What was that?
It's a tight zone. DeMuro's a tight zone.
You see, Kane is pretty upset. And Miley stays alive.
It's a little cutter right there at the base of the strike zone. And that's why we say DeMuro's strike zone is more of a hitter's strike zone because it is so small. And you get a couple more pitches out of Kane to the pitcher.
Out of play. That may have been ball 4. I mean, bacon wrapped anything's going to be good, right?
That's true.
Three balls, 2 strikes.
You could put bacon wrapped around an old burnt turnip and I'd take a shot at it.
It's just too easy. Scutero to his right. Miley's retired. Yeah. Everybody in the truck in agreement that bacon wrapped around eggplant. Oh man, or tilapia. So far, I'm 0 for 2 when it comes to you.
Yeah, I don't do eggplant or tilapia. Not even with bacon on it.
You think the guys in the truck don't pay attention to your?
But that right there, that might be last meal on death row. I want a whole plate of those bad boys.
Two balls and no strikes. We can also at some point show you some really good healthy things at this park. There's a lot of those.
Oh yeah, food here is unbelievable.
2 balls and 1 strike.
It's great in that we see so many Giants fans that travel. And they go to ballparks on the road, and the first thing they do is they compare ballparks, and then they compare the food in the ballparks. And nobody matches up to this place, food-wise or field-wise. But that's a biased opinion.
Yeah, see, that's pretty good too. Two balls, 2 strikes. And a bit high. So Kane goes full to Miley and now to Eaton.
Eaton does not have much of a strike zone. I mean, he's 5'8", 5'9", not a very tall player.
More work for Scutero. We'll have to hurry up on this one. 2 outs. And that'll bring up Parra, who saw one pitch in the first inning, and he doubled on the right field line.
The field that really is disadvantaged right now with the sun is right field. Hunter Pence is looking right into it. Shadow directly behind him. And he had to break out the magic glasses.
We say this a lot, but it does bear repeating when you look at the sunglasses that Hunter Pence has on. If we'd have trotted out there with those on when we were playing, we'd have been released.
Well, first of all, if you weren't playing, you couldn't wear sunglasses.
1 ball and 1 strike.
Now I think they preferred that you do. It's just changed.
Yeah, there's the old school flip downs where it's designed to tap the bill of the cap, and the lenses will fall down in front of your eyes. One pitch. Problem with those is if you don't have it really tight with the band in the back, you tap your cap and you tap everything in front of your eyes.
Has that ever happened to you?
Absolutely. If you've done it, if you've had those, it's going to happen to you eventually. So now you're trying to catch a pop-up with your hat covering your face. Usually doesn't work. Scooter O is going to get all 3 assists this inning, and that ties the record. Okay, Mikey, what do you think?
I want to get that.
In 1969, Gaylord Perry hit his first major league homer off of Dodgers' Claude Osteen 25 minutes after Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin walked on the moon. The Giants won 7-3. Wasn't the story that somebody said?
Alvin Dark said this guy cannot hit. In fact, man will walk on the moon before he hits a home run. And this is a true story.
And it did. And
20 minutes after they landed up there in the moon, he hit a home run.
Here's King. King takes a strike.
I always thought that story.
That was pretty good.
Yeah, that's a good one.
It's so good that you think, well, it's made up, right? But there are a lot of people around that in those days that heard Alvin Dark say that. Kane takes strike 3. Let's check in with Amy G. Amy?
All right, Dwayne and Mike, congratulations are in order for a couple of new San Francisco Giants daddies. Jeff Francoeur and his wife Kate welcomed baby Emma Kate. She was 7 pounds 1 ounce back on Monday. Jeff was funny. He said the baby's really cute because it looks like her mom. And then Sandy Rosario and his wife Giselle welcomed baby Saudette, 6 pounds 14 ounces. It's their second daughter. She was born Thursday in New Jersey. Jeff will be visited by his wife and brand new baby in Florida on the Giants' next road trip. Congratulations to them, Dwayne.
Oh yeah, I always like to have new additions to the Giants family.
Yeah, I think you have to have babies when you're going to have a good year. Seriously. Because it energizes the whole clubhouse. Baseball players love babies.
2 balls and 1 strike. Torres struck out looking.
We heard a good story today about Luis Gonzalez, who is here with the Diamondbacks broadcast team. He's the color analyst. Bob Brinley has taken the series off to extend his All-Star break, so Luis Gonzalez is here. He was telling a story about how he was on deck here, and he used to always like to have fun with the fans around the on-deck circle. And he was talking to a little guy here who had a Giants cap on. And Luis Gonzalez said, when I was a hitter, I used to always like to take the first pitch. That was just the way I did it. So he's sitting there on the on-deck circle. He's actually standing there. He looked back at the little guy with the Giants cap on. He said, hey, what do you think I should do here? Should I swing at the first pitch or should I take it?
Torres out of play.
And the little guy looked at him like, what? And Luis Gonzalez persisted, said, what should I do? Should I take the first pitch or should I swing at it? So the little guy thought there for a second. He looked at his dad. The dad says, tell him. And he said, I think you should swing at it. So the little guy with the Giants cap looked at him, and he was serious. So Luis Gonzalez went up there, first pitch, swung at it, and hit a double. And he was at second base, and he pointed to the little guy in the stands with the Giants cap on. The little guy was not happy.
No, he was upset. Torres stays alive.
When he got off the field, he sent over his batting gloves, so the little Giants fan, they became friends. But that's a good story.
Friends for life. One at the yard. Another 3-2 pitch to Torres. And Torres hits this one to right. A long run for Parra. And Parra not a problem. 2 outs. Marco Scudero.
Until the sun gets off of the batter's eye and the glare in center field goes away, you really always expect it to be a pitcher's duel. And it really has happened here tonight.
Uh-oh.
Amy G with dinner. You notice it was not fish. Amy G does not do fish.
I have a feeling it's coming in this direction. Because you're the one that said, I want to get that. And you're probably going to be able to get that. And then we'll see what you're going to do. Look at Amy, man. She just plows right through, doesn't she?
Oh, yeah. She's focused. Throwing elbows.
3-1 to Scudero. And a full count to Marco Scudero.
He's taken all the way through one.
Hammers it to left. Cody Ross will reach up and put it away, and that'll end the inning. Nice at bat from Marco Scudero. Goldschmidt will lead things off 1-0 Giants. at CSN Giants, not including pitchers. Name the only player other than Marco Scutaro to reach his first All-Star game. Only player older, I beg your pardon, than Marco Scutaro to reach his first All-Star game. What is Marco, 37?
We can't do it.
Goldschmidt takes a strike. He bounced out to Abreu in the first inning. Ooh, no balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, if you're going in, you got to get it in there because he's very quick middle in. He's got a little hole at the hands, and he will swing at that pitch off the plate up and in. But if you leak it out over the plate, boom, you are in his wheelhouse.
He's pretty unforgiving in that area.
He really is. Earlier this year, you see that pitch we're talking about. Fastball just a little bit below the belt, and he gets to that one, knocked it right out of this ballpark.
This has popped out of play. Kane wants a new baseball. So 0-2 to Goldschmidt. Got him.
93 to him. Right on the outside part of the plate, a little bit up. He's taking advantage of the natural loop of a guy's swing. Nice pitch. A little bit of an uppercut, and you can pitch him up. Just such a direct route with his hand path. He doesn't have much of a load, pure strength.
Here's Hill, who takes wide. Hill struck out in the first.
And Aaron Hill, very similar to Goldschmidt, very quick in middle in.
Buster Posey looking at Quiros, and Buster Posey now taking charge. 2 outs. So here's Montero. Nice job last night by Buster Posey behind the dish, catching Chad Godin and almost the entire bullpen.
It really is fun to watch him. Every time he goes out there, he impresses me with how he plugs into what's working for a pitcher that night. You know, you always hear that term, old soul. That's kind of how you feel about Posey. I mean, he's plugged into a lot of things early on in his big league career, and the way that he handles pitchers, it's like a guy who's been around for 10 years.
Good pitch to Montero, 0-2. It's 1-0 Giants. Giants, very much like last night, scored in the first inning. Last night they scored 2 runs in the first. Tonight just 1. But that's the difference in the game right now. Tap to Scutaro. A lot of work tonight for Scutaro, and that'll end the inning. Buster Posey's going to lead things off. It'll be Posey, Sandoval, and Pence.
the San Francisco Giants and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of San Francisco Baseball Associates, LLC.
All right, we're going to ask and answer our AT&T trivia question of what's tonight. Not including pitchers, name the only player older than Marco Scutaro to reach his first All-Star game. Our survey said, well, Babe Ruth did it. 1933. That's where it all started. And who hit the first home run? Well, it was Babe Ruth. The oldest first-timers, Babe Ruth, Marco Scutaro, George Crowe, Raul Ibanez, and Gene Woodland. And it was the very first year that they ever had an All-Star game, 1933.
Here's Buster Posey. Posey bounced out to Prado at third. And not this time. There's a line drive into right field, a base hit.
I think he went up there with that in mind. The left-hander who's got a little crossover steps, going to try and cut that ball out on the outside corner. The good train of thought, thinking fastball is to go the opposite gap. It's basically the same angle that it comes in. And that was a direct line drive right over the head of Aaron Hill, the second baseman.
In a lot of ways, that's just a signature base hit for him. Sandoval doubled over the bag at third to knock in the only run in this game. Here he takes a strike. Goldschmidt holding on Posey. 0-2.
Good change up. I haven't seen a lot of changes from Miley. So far, it's been a lot of fastballs, cut fastballs, sliders. It's time through the lineup. We might see a few more changeups from him.
Oh, 0-2. Nice play by Montero. 1 ball and 2 strikes. There is a Panda fan right there.
Oh, they're all over. See Panda people everywhere you look. Oh, lots of them. They're a happy bunch.
Hooked behind Tim Flannery.
The Panda hats really are great hats in the Bay Area. When you take them on the road with you, you see people in St. Louis, they'll show up with Panda hats, and it's 100 degrees, and it can be a little rugged when you're wearing them in a 100-degree day. But here, perfect.
Sandoval fouls this one the other way. That Miley had it under that fastball. It was at 94.
All right, there's a version. Long tails.
One and 2. We're going to see more pitches. Pablo Sandoval.
Always a good sign.
Into center field. That's going to fall.
Got a change up again. Only this one he got it up. And one thing you see Pablo Sandoval at times swing so hard that you forget that he's got good barrel head control. When he's locked in, you'll see him make nice 2-strike adjustments and go back up the middle. Take swing out, just go right back where it came from, and that's a disciplined swing. If you're going to hit for an average in this league, you've got to be able to make these adjustments. And it always helps to have a nice mistake, even at a changeup up at the belt. Pretty good pitch to hit.
So here's Pence. Pence doesn't waste any time as he fouls this one out of play. outside, maybe a little low. 1 ball and 1 strike. With Francoeur to follow, nobody out. Posey and Sandoval have reached here in the 4th. Hit to right. It's going to fall. The bases are going to be loaded.
And you just saw the arm of Gerardo Parra. Been talking about it for 2 days. It's one of the best in the game. You combine strength with accuracy, and he's got the whole package. Get to it, momentum coming in, and just unloads a seed all the way on the fly to Montero. If he lets that thing go, it hits home plate. So the table's set for Jeff Francoeur.
Francoeur on 1 pitch lined out to center field in the 2nd inning. In the dirt. 1 ball and no strikes. I guess Montero knows before a start like this one that he's going to have a lot of work to do. He's done a great job tonight.
He really has.
Well, he's trying to get Francoeur to fish, and that time he wasn't biting.
Well, 2-0 counts, bases loaded. You got to get in the strike zone at some point. You don't want to get into a 3-ball count. This should be a pitch to hit.
2 balls and 1 strike.
It was not. Francoeur was going to swing no matter what. If he hits that ball, he might break his left ankle.
Out of play, 2-2. So Miley went right at him.
With 94, he reached back velocity-wise. That's the highest velocity we've seen him have tonight is 94.
Out of play. Pretty good battle going on right here, Francoeur Miley. Well, that's the pitch King hadn't been getting either.
A little bit high for DeMuro. He's got a tight strike zone.
I'm saying Francoeur swinging here no matter what.
You might be right.
3-2. Three balls, 2 strikes. He walked him.
That was a great at bat. And for a guy who's aggressive and likes to swing, it took all of his strength not to swing.
Yeah, I think if it would have been like a little bit below the knees, you might have seen Francoeur swing, but he had a really good look at the last 2 pitches.
He set up in the inside corner, just right there above the letters. And Miley not happy. And that's going to bring out Charles Nagy, the pitching coach for the Diamondbacks, to throw a little water on because he's hot. You walk in a run, and you're not happy about it. So Francoeur, his first RBI as a Giant.
Tony Sipp is now in the bullpen getting loose.
Tony Sipp can get ready in a hurry.
Here's Abreu with the bases loaded, nobody out. Hit a fly ball to right field in the second. To the backstop. Sandoval coming in, and he is out at the plate. Well, Sandoval trying to reach.
You have a short backstop here. I'm not sure if he got him. I think he was safe.
But they're always going to call a guy out here.
Steps over it. He brings. He was safe.
One and 0 to Abreu. 1 ball and 1 strike. Infield is all the way in.
It's pretty good foot control from the Panda, though.
Oh, it's going to be up to Abreu, because if he doesn't do the job here, then Quiros most likely will not be given an opportunity.
Pure strikeout situation.
On the ground, Prado's coming home, and Pence is out at the plate.
Going on contact, and Hunter Pitts will mix it up.
Well, if you're not going to give a guy an area to slide, then you have to try to get to home plate somehow. So here's Quiros with now runners at first and third.
One more look. Did he get him? Yep, looks like he got him from that look. Well, that's one of those plays an umpire really can't be wrong. It was that close.
Of course, they're going to call him out every time.
Yeah, you're right.
Quiros can make it hurt.
Really surprised they're still pitching to him with an open base and Kane on deck. And this is really what Bruce Bochy would hope for, that they would continue to pitch to him.
And that's tapped foul. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Not a very aggressive 2-0 swing.
Two and two.
Much better hack.
Vancouver at third. Abreu at first. .76 pitches now for Miley. Out of play.
Well, last thing he's thinking about is that pitch count right now. He's pitching for his life. And we've seen it 2 nights in a row now where Giants have really gotten a lot of pitches out of the D-back starters.
Kennedy ended up throwing 109 in 6 innings last night. And another foul ball out of play. So a lot of fastballs to Guillermo Quiros here in the 4th inning. And another 2-2 pitch. And that's foul in Francoeur.
Now, as long as he's in foul territory, if it hits him, it's okay. Outside of the bruise it was put on him. If he's in fair territory and it hits him, he's out. Got to be on your toes. That should be a pretty good look right here. I want him on my dodgeball team.
2-2. Got him. And that'll end the inning. Giants add on. It's now 2-0 as we head to the 5th.
Nothing. Time now for our AT&T U-Verse Rewind. Last night, a great first pitch thrown out by Lon Simmons as he celebrated his 90th birthday. He trotted out to the hill, and he proceeded to dazzle 41,900 people.
He said that he really wanted to throw out of the stretch.
Well, his nickname was Lurch for the longest time.
No, I don't have it.
And one of his favorite players was Stretch McCovey. That was our AT&T U-Verse Rewind.
Here's Martin Prado, then Ross, and then Pennington. Prado reached on a fielder's choice. And Kane starts him off with a pitch a bit high. 1 ball and no strikes. Low. Kane with 64 pitches. This will be 65. And is fouled out of play. So he's had pretty good life on his fastball tonight.
Oh, I think his stuff has been fantastic. And, 2 starts ago, he had 4 incidents where he got to 1-2 counts with guys, and then he walked them. And the 3 pitches he threw after the count was 1 and 2 to walk him. They were real easy takes, and that was a red flag, because that's something you just haven't seen. But clearly tonight, you can see the benefit that he has had from the extra days of rest. He used all his pitches, and I think the pitch that really has jumped off the page as to how much better it has been tonight compared to the last 2 starts has been the slider, the cutter.
So Kane working the outside. 3 balls and 2 strikes. And that wasn't close. So the leadoff walk to Martin Prado.
Second time tonight that Kane has walked a leadoff hitter. He did it in the second inning with Miguel Montero.
Cody Ross hit one into the gap. That was tracked down by Andres Torres in the second. Hit it really well. The spit strike to Cody Ross. No balls and 1 strike.
Well, the ballpark definitely has gotten fair now with the sun going down, the glare off the batter eye in center field. So the playing field has definitely evened up between the pitcher and the hitter.
This was the play off the bat of Cody Ross. A lot of sun. I'm sure dealing with some wind.
Took it all the way to the warning track. Hopped up, caught it, collided with the wall. Cody Ross thought he had a home run.
I think there's any doubt that the Giants have found out that Andres Torres, much different outfielder in center field than in left.
Yeah, I think he has a better perspective from center field. He gets better jumps, no question. And much better coming into the ball in center than he is in left.
Got him.
Good changeup.
All right, let's check in with Amy G. Amy.
All right, fellas. Well, while you two were on All-Star break, I was in New York covering the All-Star game, and we got you an All-Star lineup for our webisodes. Check it out at csnbarria.com. We got everything. We got a Diamond Girls with Candace Rigetti. We got Buster No Squat. We got Romo's Relief. We got a Bull Shootin' with Madison Bumgarner since he was available out of the bullpen during the game. And we got a bunch of Amy G's Giants exclusives. So check it out, csnbarria.com, your All-Star webisodes. Dwayne?
All right. We will. Pennington takes wide, 1 ball and no strikes. Colementor is in the bullpen. I'm assuming that if Pennington were to reach here, that you might see Kirk Gibson pinch hit Miley. And we're going to find out is that rolls into the outfield for a base hit. So Eric Chavez is going to pinch hit. And Colementor will be your new pitcher. So here's Chavez. At second, Prado. At first, Pennington. And a backdoor breaking ball misses. 1 ball and no strikes.
Close pitch. He wanted that one. Chavez as a pinch hitter has done a great job. 4 for 6 with a home run, 4 RBIs. He's also hit into 90 double plays. Or I beg your pardon. I'm a little carried away with that stat. The Diamondbacks as a team have hit into 90 double plays. I got to believe if guys hit into 90 double plays 2 weeks into July, he'd be released.
Well, he's playing a lot.
Yeah. Well, Chavez on the year, he's hit into 5 double plays.
2 balls and 1 strike. Prado at second, Pennington at first. Adam Eaton is on deck. Hit on the ground to Scudero. Scudero to Abreu. Abreu to no. Abreu throws it into the stands. And coming in to score is Prado, and it's a 2-1 ball game. Well, I didn't see that coming.
I did not. And let's see how much pressure was put on. I don't know if he kicked his arm or whatnot, but I mean, there was no chance for Buster Posey. See, Pennington has to be in contact with the bag when he swings wide, which he was. Totally legal slide. And you can see how far wide it was of Posey. So it's now a 2-1 ball game, and Eaton's going to have a chance to hit with a runner in scoring position because of the error.
Pitch is wide, 1 ball and no strike.
Under 80 on the pitch count now for Kane. The sad thing about an error is it's going to cost the pitcher more pitches.
Brandon Crawford got stepped on late in the game last night. 3-0, so Kane having a hard time throwing a strike now to Adam Eaton. That's high.
Kane cannot believe that was a ball. This was the play last night. Remember, Heath Bell, the pitcher, weighs about 265, maybe more, and he steps on twice. That's right. He hits the left foot with both of his feet. 1, 2. And it shredded his shoe, tore the sock, cut into his skin. So they were hoping that he might be available at some point during this game. They're working on him in the training room, and Dave Gresher and his crew can work miracles. This is the pitch right here that upset Kane. It was a 3-0 count. And so where was that look?
So here's Parra. Parra's doubled and he's bounced out.
DeMuro thought it was high. Kane trying to pitch through an air.
Oh, 0-1.
Perfect. Through the backdoor slider. Steal strike 1. A lot of pressure on a pitcher when you're facing a guy with 2 outs like Parra when you have Goldschmidt on deck. And Goldschmidt represents 77 RBIs. And Parra has had good at-bats tonight against Kane. He's doubled and grounded out. He's hit the ball sharply twice.
Parra steps out. Kane gets a bit more of a breather. Ball back, 1-2. Right field's a lot easier now for Hunter Pence. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes. 2-2.
Parra will chase up above the letters. He will chase off-speed stuff down below the zone. He wants to swing the bat. He's aggressive.
And just a piece as Kane went in on his hands. So it remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. Full count.
Hard stuff in, sets up soft stuff away. And an open base, I doubt he'll give in to him, even with Goldschmidt on deck. Next pitch, number 90.
3-2. Runners will be on the move. Foul.
He did not give in to him. Like a cutter or a slider. Had Parra out reaching. Could even been a changeup.
Chavez at second. Eaton at first. Runners go. Walked him.
The two-seam fastball moving away, and it was off the plate away about the width of a baseball. Good eye in there by Parra. Other umpires, this inning's over. Tight zone tonight. That's 3 walks in the inning now for Kane. And very quickly, George Conto's starting to get heated up. Pitch count now becoming an issue for Bruce Bochy. And what he did not want to see happen is going to happen. Kane's going to face Goldschmidt with the bases loaded.
Goldschmidt has bounced out and he's struck out. First pitch strike, and it's 0-1. That was the 30th pitch of the inning. Tapped on the ground. Sandoval has it. And that'll end the inning. Gabe pitching for his life. Giants hang on. They lead 2-1.
Series, July 26th through the 28th. And that's Saturday, July 27th. This will be a 6:05 start. First 20,000 fans will receive an Angel Pagan knit beanie courtesy of Steakum. And then Sunday, July 28th, the 1:05 start. The first 20,000 fans will receive a Marco Scutero t-shirt presented by StubHub. So you want tickets? Go to sfgiants.com.
Kane to Colementor. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up. Your oil change tune-up and smog experts.
And a lot of people tell you Josh Colementor could be the MVP of this team this year.
Pennington. One out.
Gamer Bids are here.
Hey, we got a bachelorette party.
All right. Better put a beeper on that bunch. Keep an eye on them.
To me, that's like center field, right?
Yep. Yep. They're already having a good time. That's good.
Yeah, it is good.
And the night is young. Colementor is going to give you a lot of velocity in the fastball. It's high 80s, but really a great changeup and a very unusual straight over the top release. Occasionally they'll throw a curveball, but a lot of times he'll just come at you with a fastball, a cut, and a changeup.
Into right field, a base hit. The Torres picks up a little bloop, and it's a line drive tomorrow in the box score.
Hey, he threw it. He hit it just like he threw it. She's got her veil. She's the bride to be, and we wish her the best wishes.
Scutero 0 for 1. He walked and scored in the first. Way outside as Scutero bluffed the bunt. You see Brandon Crawford. Torres, he's a base stealer, but he's only got 3 this year. Scutero, good hit and run man. A lot going on here if Bruce Bochy chooses to do something. Hit into center field, or the center fielder Eaton.
Today, the freecreditscore.com gave away the headsets. And there's a lot of folks here today that have them on. Very cool.
Might I see a pair of those on you for our next flight?
It could happen. It could happen.
Here's Buster Posey. Four for 6 lifetime against Colementor for Buster Posey, with a double and a home run. He scored the Giants' second run in the 4th inning. Posey stepping out on Colementor. Colementor trying to slow everything down. In tight, 1 ball and no strike.
Well, he's got the Bugs Bunny changeup where it just comes up there and seemingly stops halfway between the pitcher's mound and home plate. Yep, she's in a good chair. Rooting for a good Giant.
1 ball and no strikes. Mr. Posey, a little count leverage swing. 1 ball and 1 strike.
So 1-1 count, 2 fastballs, still is not throwing the changeup. And that really is what you have in your mind when you're hitting off a Coleman. I mean, he is right over the top. He's as over the top as anybody in baseball with his release, and that itself is unusual. But then the changeup that he throws, it just never seems to get to you. Three pitches, 3 fastballs. I mean, this guy that scouted this guy and recommended that he get signed has got some guts. Because you're saying, what's he throw? Well, fastball about 87, 88. What's it do? Nothing. Straight as a string. And this guy is a very effective big league pitcher because of his deceptiveness in his motion and that changeup. And at times you forget about the curveball that he has because the fastball changeup is so good.
One and 2 to Posey. Well, Coleman must have some memories of throwing changeups to Buster Posey and bad things happening. Because you're right, it's been all fastballs. There's Sandoval on deck. High drive center field. Eaton on the move. Eaton on the move. Out of here. Dead center field, Buster Posey. Home run number 14. And it's 4-1 Giants.
Still throw a changeup.
Beautiful swing.
And so many of his home runs go to straightaway center. Pure balance. Backspin it right out of here.
Here's Sandoval.
Another fastball right above the letters. I mean, that's really where he wanted to throw it. And Buster Posey just said, see you later. And where did it go? Straight dead center.
Lit up this place. A ball and a strike. Sandoval trying to match it for distance. It's 1 and 2. Check here to see if Mr. Coleman gives him up a lot. It's the 5th one he's allowed in 53 innings.
It's about right, 1 every 10 innings. And when you think about it, Coleman is a fly ball strikeout pitcher. He's not a ground ball guy. And their ballpark, which is very lively, not really a great place for fly ball pitchers. And there's the occasional curveball. Just missed a good eye. Coleman wanted it.
2-2 pitch. And now a full count to Pablo Sandoval. Dodgers and Nationals are in extra innings. It's a 1-1 game. Payoff pitch. Here it is. Sandoval pops this one up shallow left field. And it'll be Cody Ross who puts it away. Buster Posey straightaway center field. Bye-bye, baby. It's 4-1 Giants. Afternoon's game. It'll be Randall Delgado against Madison Bumgarner. See the numbers for Delgado. He's got 6 starts, and for Madison Bumgarner, 10-5 in 19 starts. So join us right here on Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area, 12:30 pregame live, and then we'll bring you the final game of the series right at the top of the hour, and that's our Chevron pitching matchup. Hill takes wide, 1 ball and 1 strike.
I don't believe that Bruce Bochy is going to allow Matt Cain to have another long inning and a lot of stretch time. It's got to be a pretty clean inning.
I agree. And there's a base hit to left field. So Hill leads off the inning with a single.
Plenty of activity in the Giants bullpen. Like George Contos and Jeremy Affeldt.
Montero is walked and he's bounced out to Scudero. And that's a fastball hit out of play to our left. Prado on deck, and then Cody Ross. A lot of pitches for Matt Cain in the 5th inning, which definitely puts everybody on red alert. 31 pitches in the 5th. 0-2. Up and in a little bit, 1-2. The hit by Hill to lead off this inning, only the 3rd hit for the Diamondbacks. Diamondbacks in the game last night had 5.
Just missing a bit outside.
So Montero's worked the count to 2-2. Down the left field line, right through the bullpen. The AT Cafe is a hot spot. Oh, there's a table.
The baristas are doing what they do.
A latte and Americana. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And there's a base hit into center field. Pence gets to it. He will hit the cutoff man. And that'll put runners at the corners, and that's it for Matt Cain. So Cain with 102 pitches. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up. Your oil change, tune-up, and smog experts. We'll be back.
You can find great seats for upcoming Giants home games versus the Red Sox, the Dodgers, the Cubs. And this season, you can get more with your tickets thanks to StubHub Fan Rewards. So get to StubHub and grab your seats today.
Here you see the line for Matt Cain. He is responsible for both runners on here in the 6th. Giants with a 4-1 lead.
The pitcher now for the Giants will be George Cantos. 2-2 on the year with a 4.85 ERA, 40 strikeouts and 42 2/3 innings. And in that, George Cantos, primarily a 2-pitch pitcher, a fastball, low 90s, big hard slider. Slider being the bread and butter pitch. The layoff and the days of rest really do wonders for a guy with a slider. Usually come back and it's got good velocity, bite, and break to it. With a 3-run lead, not really a strikeout situation here with a runner at third, but with Cantos, his best pitch to get a ground ball is that slider if it's down around the knees or below.
Prado 0 for 3 lifetime against Cantos. And that first pitch is wide. 1 ball and no strikes. Prado reached center fielder's choice in the 2nd, walked in the 5th. 2-0. So Cantos has got to get into the zone.
Giants would give up a run to get a double play. Happily.
And a base hit to right field. Coming in to score is Hill. So Cantos who had fallen behind in the count, had to come in. And Prado just laid it out to right field. Three straight singles in this inning. Here's Cody Ross. Montero now at second. Prado's at first. Ball gets away from the Giants bullpen, so timeout is called. Ross is the fly ball deep to center field, left center, and struck out in the fifth. And the slider is fouled to the backstop. No balls and one strike.
Got to keep that ball down to Cody Ross. Good mistake hitter, likes that ball up.
And he does keep it down, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Ross has only faced Cantos 1 time. He's 1 for 1 lifetime. No swing, 2 balls and 1 strike.
3 pitches, 3 sliders. Just can't get Cody Ross to bite at that slider down below the strike zone.
And the 2-1 is a broken bat to Scudero. 1 out.
One fastball, he just put it on the hands nicely. And it set the targets on the outside, so if it was their intent to go away, they got away with a location mistake. Turned out to be a pretty good pitch.
So Jeremy Affeld's going to come in. Cantos departs. The D-backs have scored a run here in the 6th. It's 4-2 Giants. Net Bay Area.
New pitcher now for San Francisco will be Jeremy Affeldt. 38th time that he has come in this year for Bruce Bochy. 1-4 with a 3.55 ERA. He's going to come in there facing Kurt Pennington trying to get a ground ball that gets a double play. The beauty of Affel is that he will put the ball on the ground. Sinker, curveball, split.
So Pennington, a switch hitter. Well, now bad right-handed. Montero at second, Prado at first. Pennington has faced Affel 4 times. He's 1 for 4. Abreu, Scudero at double play depth and looking for the double play. Down low, 1 ball and no strikes. Very shallow in right field is Hunter Pence. Swing. You're going to miss. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Good velocity in that fastball at 93. Giants pinch the gaps in the outfield. They're giving the line in left field to Pennington, the right-handed hitter. I'm thinking he's going to hit the ball to the middle of the field if he makes contact.
And that's a bit high. I felt we'll find that out soon. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Yeah, that's one thing. I mean, most relief pitchers will go into the clubhouse during the early parts of the game and they'll watch to see what's being called a strike, what isn't being called a strike. So by now, Affel's got a pretty good idea. It's a tight zone.
And this is out of play down the right field line, so it's now 2-2.
Plus, they know Mike DeMuro and they know his reputation.
Affel rubs up the new baseball. Get it the way you like it. Foul straight back.
As the ball's up around the belt, and that's not where the ground balls are for Affel. He's got to get that ball down around the knees. That's where he can get the ground ball.
Kane started the inning, faced 2 hitters. Contos came in. He faced 2 hitters. And on the curveball, it's rolled foul. A.J. Pollock is on deck. That would be the pitcher spot. 2-2. Hit out into right center field. Pence is going to track it down. Boy, at first I didn't think so because, as we said earlier, Pence was playing pretty shallow in right field.
And he had to go a long way to run this thing down. But it helps to have a great first step and good recovery speed. I thought, uh-oh, off the crack of the bat, this looked like it was headed for Triple's alley.
Well, it's a tie game if it gets past Pence.
Yep.
So here's Pollock. See the numbers for Pollock, hitting .255. And the breaking ball in the dirt. 1 ball and no strikes. Stressful inning in the 5th and another one here in the 6th. Rolled foul. 1 ball and 1 strike. Kathy Myers down the third baseline.
Affeld's got a left-hander on the on-deck circle, Adam Eaton. And he doesn't have to just sit there and pump balls in the fat part of the strike zone, so he can make quality pitches location-wise, at least try to. He's got an open base.
Pollock is facing Affelt for the first time ever. Just outside, it's 2 balls and 1 strike.
And what you just said right there, it can be a bit unnerving to a veteran pitcher. He doesn't like the unknown. He doesn't like a guy he doesn't have any history with. He doesn't know where his hot spots are. He doesn't know where his holes are. All he's doing is pitching to a scout report, and that's all right, but you just don't, until you actually pitch to a guy, you don't 100% trust it. And I think he's nibbling.
Three and 1. And that's off of Pollock's foot. It's 3 and 2. So
something happened to Affelt.
Yep, he's hurt.
It could be a groin.
Well, we've seen this happen before with Jeremy Affelt.
Saying down the truck, they replayed this, and they said in watching his lips, he said he felt a pop.
Well, Javier Lopez is taking his jersey off. I don't know if he's doing it on his own or, but Affelt is going to depart, and you would have to think that this is going to be something more than just coming out today. It's going to be Maharis who's going to go out to warm up. We'll take a break. Maharis will get as much time as he needs. It's 4-2 Giants. Series pregame live at 12:30. We'll have the ball game for you right at 1 o'clock, and you can see it right here in Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area. Following that, the Reds will be here for 4 with a doubleheader on Tuesday, day off on Thursday, and then the Cubs for a 3-game series.
An old-fashioned doubleheader on Tuesday. 2 games for the price of 1.
All games on Comcast Sportsnet, Barry, with the exception of the Saturday night game, which you'll see on NBC Bay Area. So Maharis is ready. Affeldt departs with the injury. It's 4-2, a run in. And Maharis's numbers look like that.
Well, they're outstanding. 37 strikeouts in 33 innings, 2 types of fastballs, curveball, slider. Different situation here in that you're inheriting a 3-2 count with 2 outs. So I don't know who has the advantage, the hitter or the pitcher.
Runners will be on the move. I'm sure it's odd for Maharis.
It can't be too comfortable for Pollock.
Well, now just to confuse things, somebody calls time. Everybody looking at somebody else as to who did it. Three and 2. Runners go. And they're loaded for Eaton.
So that walk credited to Jeremy Affeldt.
Eaton is 0 for 2 with a walk. And he takes low, 1 ball and no strikes.
Giants jam the outfield. And Eaton, with his 5'8" stature, is not going to go out of the strike zone. He has a very good eye in a small strike zone.
And Maharis pours it in for a strike, 2-1.
Eaton taken all the way. I think he had it in his mind that he's going to go up there and take a strike and not swing until.
Out of play, 2 and 2.
91 mile an hour challenge. And I had about 3 more feet on the fastball than what Eaton saw on the 2-0 fastball. Jake Dunning now very quickly heating up.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Got him. Oh, my word. 4-2 Giants.
in the community. The Giants, alongside their partners PG&E, earlier tonight welcomed Ladies from Bosse, that is Bay Area Women's Sports Initiative and Coaching Corps, to recognize Bay Area female athlete greats who also serve in their community. Cal women's basketball team, who participated in the Final Four, and their coaching staff were here alongside Stanford women's tennis team and their coaches, who won the national championship. You go girls. Dwayne?
Nice. When it's time for a change, things speedy. Oil change and tune-up. Your oil change, tune-up, and smog experts. You're looking at J.J. Putz to Hunter Pence. And it's wide, 1 ball and no strikes. 4-2 Giants, 6th inning.
Putz normally the closer, but he really has not gotten his act together since he's come off the disabled list. His velocity, when he was throwing well, was right around mid-90s, and it's been low 90s since coming off of the DL. With a slider and a very good split. He had some strikeout pitch. That's his signature pitch. But he has not earned the right to close games, and he's trying to work his way back into the favor of Kurt Gibson.
Pence is 2 for 2 lifetime against J.J. Putz. He also walked a couple of times. Three and 1 with Francoeur on deck. The difference now in this game, the 2-run home run by Buster Posey. All right, I got it. The 3-1. Ball 4.
Leadoff walk, so Hunt. When Putz went on the disabled list, it was because of a strained elbow in his right arm.
Francoeur walked with the bases loaded in the 4th. Pence falls back into first. He's faced Putz 3 times. He's 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts. There's Santiago Casillas. You come off the DL, you're going to work. Inside to Francoeur.
Yeah, you're right. You're going to work, and you want to. You want to get back in the swing of things. When you're on the disabled list, you don't feel like you're making much contribution to the team.
Double play ball. And Pennington will throw out Francoeur. 2 outs. And that'll bring up Abreu. Abreu is flied out, and he's reached on a fielder's choice. You're looking at another sellout crowd here tonight. The California Hornblower is waiting for us in the Cove. Give us another hour and a half, and we'll be aboard. Low to Abreu. We could throw a heck of a party on that, you know that?
Well, I think we should try. It's got some big time history too.
On the ground, into the hole. Pennington, no chance. It'll be a hit for Abreu.
Well, what's a chance for an infielder coming across his body like this?
Well, Abreu got a pretty good jump out of the box, and this would have been a close play. He would have had a shot, but it would have been close.
Can a shortstop see all that? The type of break he gets out of the box?
No, you just got to know that it's going to be close no matter what.
He hit it right in the sweet
really
spot too.
Ticked off. Look, you never blame your glove. You blame the person who was using the glove, but I'd be hacked off at my glove, to be honest with you.
Right, hit him right in the sweet spot.
It's got to stay in the pocket. It has to.
And he's got sweet hands.
To the backstop. Abreu down to second. So now nobody's in the on-deck circle. It looks like it's going to be Brandon Crawford who's going to come out. And we don't know if this is a deke or not.
Well, I mean, Gerardo Parra, left-handed hitter, is due to lead off for the Diamondbacks in the 7th inning. And I'm sure that Bruce Bochy would like to keep his lefty in there to face Parra. But having Crawford up there is all for one reason. That's to get better pitches to hit for Quiros. And Kirk Gibson's not biting. Now, from J.J. Putt's standpoint, he's got an open base here. He doesn't have to give in. He can test as to whether or not Brandon Crawford's there for a deke or not. It looks like he might use that base because he's not giving Quiros anything. Giants have an 8-man bullpen. They've got plenty of arms.
Three balls and one strike.
Quiros taken all the way on the 3-0 fastball challenge. He might want that one back.
Montero's going to run out of room. It's 5 rows back. Oh, man.
Yeah, those things had no chance. The bacon wrapped hot dogs gone. What a great concept that was.
Maybe they only make a certain amount.
And they only make about 16,000 a night. They're gone by the 3rd inning.
3-2 to Quiros. Quiros foul. Oh. Is that Billy Hayes doing the Olay?
I mean, there he is. And he's the guy protecting the catcher.
I asked him, but he goes, I know if it's going to hit the guy behind me or not. So don't get on me.
All right.
Crawford's going to hit.
I do find it a little interesting with the Giants bench. They've got 4 left-handed hitters. That's it. They have nobody to bat from the right side unless you're going to bring Madison Bumgarner in there. Diamondbacks have 2 left-handers, and neither one of them were up. So Kirk Gibson comfortable with letting Putz, his former closer, face any one of 4 left-handers. In this instance, it's going to be Brandon Crawford.
Crawford takes a strike. He's faced Putz 3 times. He's 0 for 3. Crawford yesterday went 0 for 4. Down low.
There's the split.
Crawford goes the other way. Moving over is Cody Ross, and he'll make the running catch. And that'll end the inning. 7th inning coming up. It remains 4-2 Giants. Toyota dealer. Miley and Kane are both out of the game. Kane gave up 2 runs in 5 innings. Miley gave up 2 earned runs. So the Giants' 4th straight game as they scored in the 1st inning. Buster Posey's got a 2-run home run to straightaway center field now, and it's been this way for a while. It is a game of bullpens. It's time for a change. Think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up. Your oil change tune-up and smog experts.
New pitcher now for the Giants will be Santiago Casilla. 24th time he's come in. 3-2 with a 1.77 ERA. A welcome addition after he has worked himself back off the disabled list. Brandon Crawford stays in the game. He is at shortstop, so apparently the foot no longer an issue. Dave Gresher, the Giants trainer, has once again worked his magic.
Magic indeed. Looking ball to Parra for a called strike. Parra 2 for 4 lifetime against Casilla. That's coming into this series. He doubled in the 1st inning. He walked in the 5th. Pops this one up. Torres says, I got this one. And he does. So here's Goldschmidt. It was Casilla that retired Goldschmidt in that stressful inning, 8th inning last night with the bases loaded. Here he'll face Goldschmidt with nobody on and 1 out. First pitch strike, and it's 0-1.
Think about Casilla, he can give you so many different looks. Fastball that he can 2-seam and 4-seam, and we're talking big time movement with each. As you see Will Harris, the right-hander in the D-backs bullpen, getting heated up. Casilla give you a curveball, slider, change up, cut the ball. And that's a good curveball. Throw that in the strike zone. Not many guys are going to be looking for it or hacking at it. It's also a good strikeout pitch, bouncing that thing on home plate to lefties.
And Goldschmidt hit that pitch that was running up and in.
Well, it wasn't close to the barrelhead, that much you know. He'd hit that thing flush, he'd have blown that bat up in about 50 pieces.
That'd hurt. Hanging breaking ball is hit foul into the dugout.
Ugly finder.
Always an ugly finder when it heads in the direction of that man.
Pete DeLonzo.
Pete. Be the man, Pete. Tap to Scudero.
And that's just a perfect cutter. It's all the little subtleties that he can throw on a bat. I mean, he's got as much movement as most starters. And I'm talking about the elite starters. Guys that are responsible for 5 or 6 types of movement that they can put on a ball. He can do that. And he'll use them in any count.
Hill is 1 for 3. In the game yesterday, Hill hit in front of Goldsmith. Today it's just the other way. As Casilla walked Hill last night in that 8th inning, and that set up the Goldsmith at bat with the bases loaded. That's a nasty pitch running in. And it's even more nasty when Scott Berry says that you swung at it, which I don't think Hill did.
Neither does Hill. But look at the movement on this. Watch the elbows bend, and that's a hard fastball with 2-seam grip running into the right-handed hitting Hill. And it just collapsed his elbows through the half swing.
Now you got to think about that one moving away from you.
I don't know of too many relievers that can give you that much variety in quality pitches like Casilla can do that. And that's what makes him unique. And he was sorely missed when he was on the disabled list.
Well, the enjoyment of having everybody healthy in that bullpen has gone away here tonight, with Affel limping off the mound.
Well, big time concern. I mean, we're all hoping it's just a cramp, but he read his lips and he heard a pop. And that's one guy that you hate to see go down.
So Casilla now gets to a 3-2 count. And want to walk Hill with Montero, the tying run on deck. A foul.
Not much.
Pretty good bat speed at 93. Seen some really long at bats in this game. Consequently, I've seen walks and pitches, important pitches, certainly in the last 3 innings. And that knocked Heroes back, and it certainly hit his mask.
Yeah, that rocked Heroes, hit him on the jaw on the left side. I take it back. I hit it right in the button. That was a direct hit.
It's a powerful swing and a foul, and it catches you right in the middle of that mask. It remains 3-2. This is popped up, but it's going to be out of play. Three balls, 2 strikes. Casilla rubs up the baseball. He's thrown 15 pitches since he came in. He got Parra quickly. Goldschmidt in a battle, in a real battle here with Hill. And he walked him. There are no easy outs tonight.
No, they've been grinds. It's that time of the year.
Actually, Kane breezed through the 4 innings, but then the grinding started in the 5th. Montero is walked, bounced out, he's singled. He's 1 for 4 in his career against Santiago Casilla. No balls and 1 strike.
Two-seam fastball at 93 and a swing through to get a quick 0-1. The wind that was cutting across the field early in the game has diminished about half, so it was very difficult to hit the ball at the right field early in the game. Now it's a little bit easier, especially for a guy with power like Montero.
And that pitch is left up high. Casilla started this inning. And a base hit to right field. That's the second hit for Montero. And here's Prado.
And Sandy Rosario with the red alert heading down the Giants bullpen. Getty going to come out, kill some time. And while he does, I'd like to remind you that the Cincinnati Reds are coming to town Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. The Giants are going to make up a rain out. It happened earlier in the year in Cincinnati, and that it happens on Tuesday. That's right, Tuesday the 23rd will now become an old-fashioned doubleheader, with the first game starting at 4:05. The second game will start about a half hour after the first one ends. Giants are the road team in game 1, so the Reds will wear their home uniforms and the Giants will wear their road grays, which is a bit unusual. If you have a ticket to the game Tuesday night, come out early as you're going to get 2 games for the price of 1. There are still great seats available for Tuesday's double dip, as well as the other 2 Reds games. Go to sfgiants.com.
Here's Prado. And Prado takes a strike. He's 0 for 4 in his career against Casilla. Tonight, he's been on base 3 times, once in a fielder's choice, once on a walk, and then he knocked in a run with a hit in the 6th. And Casilla now will chase back Hill. Should not be that big of a concern for Casilla. The middle infielders are not holding on Hill. It's more concerned about not giving up any of their spot on the diamond. As that's a low, 1 ball and 1 strike. One ball and 1 strike. Casilla deals. Chopper. Crawford. Scudero. Inning over. How about that? I need a nap. 4-2 ball game as we head to the home half of the 7th inning. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up. Your oil change, tune-up, and smog experts.
Will Harris, for the 29th time, will come into a big league game this year. Kind of an amazing story. I mean, he was waived by the A's back April 6th, and the Diamondbacks picked him up. This guy throws the ball mid-90s, big over-the-top curveball and a changeup, and he's had a nice season for the Diamondbacks. And he's worked himself up into the late innings ladder.
And here's Torres. Torres takes a strike. He singled in the 5th. He was aboard when Posey hit the home run. Bang, bang, 0-2. So if you're Andres Torres, now you got to swing the bat.
Yeah, it definitely changes the at-bat. You got to get the protect mode now. A lot of what Harris features, though, does wind up around the knees. That is to the strength of Andres Torres. That, however, was a fastball by design across the letters. Saw the target from Miguel Montero saying, "Give me that thing above the strike zone."
That's the curveball you're talking about?
It's straight over the top. He's got a high 3/4 release, so the break on it is like rolling off the table. It's a good one.
And that's how good it is.
Take a look at the play that ended things for the Diamondbacks in the top of the 7th, right past Casilla. We thought it had a chance to get in, and then it was a flip that Crawford gave to Marco Scudero, and he fields it barehanded, and that's how things came to a calm ending.
That was one of those, Mike, where if Casilla doesn't catch it but slows it down, you're not going to get anybody.
No.
So here's Scudero. Scudero is 0 for 2. He walked and scored in the 1st. He's lined out and he's flied out. There's a strike with Buster Posey on deck. Way outside. Harris adds a little to the fastball. It's 2-1.
See the movement on the fastball from Harris. It's got a nice little cut that slides away about 3 or 4 inches away from the right-hand hitter. And a 2-1 curveball, not close. An easy take for Scudero. Scudero trying to get on base for that guy, Posey.
And he will.
We'll go back to the 5th inning. It was a 2-1 ball game, and Buster Posey in a 2-strike count against Josh Colminter gets a fastball across the letters. And for the 14th time this year, he hits it out of the ballpark, and that was a huge swing of the bat. It really has been the difference in this game.
Very high to Buster Posey. 1 ball and no strikes. Left groin strain for Jeremy Affeldt. Not close. 2-0. Pablo Sandoval on deck. Harris comes in with a strike.
Not what he was looking for.
He gets a fastball in on his hands, 2-2.
Diamondbacks have gone after Posey with a lot of fastballs tonight. He made Coleman pay for it earlier, as we talked about.
So it goes 3-2. Which is not that unusual if you watch Buster Posey as much as we do. Scudero will watch to see if he's on the move. And he is. And it's, they're going to say it was a foul tip into the glove of Miguel Montero. And the stolen base will go to Scudero. Check in with Amy G.
All right, Dwayne and Mike, we have an update. Jeremy Affeldt did leave the game with a left groin strain. As soon as we get more, we'll let fans know. Also, guys, Joaquin Arias is doing some baseball activity after an appendectomy earlier this month. He could be activated as early as mid next week. Gentlemen?
All right. Bad news, good news. Right now, it's Harris going after Sandoval, who's 2 for 3. No balls and 1 strike.
He placed it right where he wanted. Inside corner with some cut, moving in. Little 2 or 3 inch slide at the belt. I mean, you can't run up there and put a cut any better to a left-handed hitter if you're a right-handed pitcher. I'm going to try to do that again.
Ball and 1 strike. Scudero at second, his first stolen base of the year. And Sandoval got a challenge.
Staying right on that side of the plate with that little cut.
Two and 2. See where they try to go here to Sandoval.
Did not miss by much. They tried to cut a fastball on the outside corner. The other umpires, this inning's over. Just a tad low for Mr. Mike DeMuro, the plate umpire.
Got him. Harris strikes out the side after walking Scudero. 8th inning is coming up. It remains 4-2 Giants.
Area is brought to you by Xfinity, home of the most live sports.
Here at AT&T Park, the Giants with a 4-2 lead. And the Giants have a new pitcher, Mike.
Sandy Rosario going to come in now. He has definitely climbed up the bullpen ladder in the eyes of Bruce Bochy and Dave Righetti and Mark Gardner. 21st time that he's come in, and he's done a nice job. 28 base runners in 22 and a third, a fastball low 90s, hard slider, and a changeup. Wow. And he just found out what everybody else tonight has found out. The strike zone is tiny.
That's pulled on the ground, foul. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Cody Ross is 0 for 3. Perfect spot, 1 and 2.
It really was. Wrapped around a two-seam fastball and nailed that outside corner with 94. You see Javier Lopez heating up. And he's thinking about Miguel Montero. I beg your pardon. He's thinking about the top of the lineup, Adam Eaton and Gerardo Parra, should this inning extend.
So it's 2 balls and 2 strikes now to the former Giant Cody Ross, with the Giants on top. You're 4-2 in the 8th inning. On deck is Cliff Pennington. And really stretching out Cody Ross out over the plate, fouls it out of play. That ball was maybe a foot outside.
It helps to have the extendo bat in a 2-strike count. When the guy goes wide with a hard slider, you do live to see another pitch.
Hit up the middle, and that'll be a base hit.
So frustrating when you're a pitcher and you fall off hard to the first base side.
And something had happened to, actually timeout was called and Cody Ross will go back to first, but something had happened to Rosario and everybody was looking at Rosario, including trainers around the field.
And the ball hit his hand. And if it's out there to the fingertips of his forefinger and middle finger or thumb, it could get him out of this ball game. And Kirk Gibson is out contesting it, that he didn't hear a timeout call. He wants that extra 90 feet. Your instinct is to come back across your body. You're talking about how frustrating it is when your body's going towards the first base line and you're seeing a comebacker going right across the middle of the rubber. And you reach back in just out of pure instinct to try and touch it.
This game's got to end for the Giants.
He's going to throw a couple right here. Bruce Bochy's going to come out and see what's going on. It was just way too much at stake here. If he's not 100%, or at least he doesn't have a good feel of the ball in his fingertips. Now, he didn't want to leave the game, but this coach is going to want to see a couple throws. Mark Grusbeck out there very quickly, Giants trainer.
Here's where you really want to trust your pitcher.
Well, they got to be honest, and you're not always going to get an honest answer from a rookie. Meanwhile, Cody Ross talking it over with Scott Berry, the first base umpire. Watch the play one more time. Comebacker, he gets a piece of it on the hand. And he drops his glove and looks at his hand, and right out of the dugout comes Mark Grusbeck. Let's see if there was an umpire that raised his hand. There's the plate umpire right there that says time. And he looks over to the dugout seeing the trainer come out. At that point, Cody Ross took off first base. It's a heads-up play.
So here's Pennington. And Pennington takes down low. Well, as soon as an umpire sees that a pitcher is going to lose his glove due to a possible injury, they're going to call timeout. Nope, 2 balls and no strikes.
Rosario, a nice long look into plate umpire DeMuro. The corners have not been there tonight, and to DeMuro's credit, it has been a small strike zone all night long. He has not varied from it, but he has not given anything to the pitchers.
Well, it's not the strike zone that we saw for the All-Star game, that's for sure.
No. And, I mean, that's really part of the game. Some nights you're going to have big zones, some nights you're going to have small zones. Tonight, it just happens to be a small zone. But really, from a player and a hitter's perspective, you just need to know what the zone is. Don't bounce it around, and DeMuro does not.
Lined. Torres.
That was a bullet.
That was a bullet. Jason Kubel is going to pinch hit. And Kubel will not be facing Rosario. And it'll be Javier Lopez to come in. And it's time for a change. Think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up. Your oil change tune-up and smog experts. Live highlights, reaction, analysis, all coming up right after the game. Sean Estes is in town. You know that?
Always good to see Sean Estes. Always good to see Javier Lopez come into a game, and we've seen it a lot this year. 41st time that he's come in. 1-1 with a 1.59 ERA.
Greg Poppins sacked, by the way, after a 2-month vacation.
2-month vacation. Interesting.
So it'll be Kubel being pulled back. It'll be Will Nieves who's going to hit. So Nieves to face Javier Lopez with Cody Ross at first base.
Davis has done a good job this year in the pinch hit role. 5 for 12 for RBIs.
Likes to swing, and he misses, and it's 0-1.
Most of those hits came at the start of the season.
Davis has only faced Lopez once, and he's 0 for 1. Crawford won't get anybody. You could see what Crawford was trying to do. He was trying to get to second base for the double play.
Well, that's a base hit. It was ruled very quickly. Just hit off the heel of the glove, and that happens for one reason. You take your eye off the ball, and like you said, you're looking at the bag. And you wind up with nothing.
So here's Eaton. And Eaton takes low, 1 ball and no strike.
Now they changed it to an error. So Crawford with an error. You see Romo starting to get heated up.
Lopez knocks it down, and they'll get the out there, and that's all they'll get. So Lopez thought he had a shot at a double play, but the important thing there, get 1 out.
Got an out. Well, with the speed of Eaton, once the ball was dropped by Javier Lopez, no chance at first base, so he does get the 1 out at second. And as you point out, get the out.
And he also got the potential tying run away from second base. So here's Parra. Parra is 1 for 3.
1 for 10 lifetime against Lopez.
Swing and a miss. No balls and 1 strike. Fifth inning, stressful. 6th inning, stressful. 7th inning, exactly the same, and the same here in the 8th.
Diamondbacks to say the same thing about their pitching staff facing the Giants the last 4 innings.
Low, 1 ball and 1 strike.
It has been that kind of a game, and you expect it to be this way the rest of the year. It all happens after the All-Star break. Things start to take on a whole new meaning. The importance of each game magnified.
Lopez will check on Eaton, who we have not seen attempt to steal in this series.
He had almost 50 stolen bases last year in 3 levels, AA, AAA, and the big league. So he is a base stealer, but it's odd that he hasn't had one this year, dealing with the injuries that he's had.
And Parra trying to bunt, and it's 1 and 2.
Well, that's a concession a hitter makes when he's not feeling comfortable against a pitcher. Well, can't hit him, I'm going to try and bunt him.
Bunted it off his foot.
That's insult to injury.
That's punishment for trying to do that.
I saw Johnny Bench try to bunt with 2 strikes against Bruce Sutter one time.
What is that called? Uncle?
That's called UNCLE, baby.
1 and 2. Parra facing Lopez. And that's tapped foul. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Here we go again. On the ground is Scudero, and that ends the inning. Just the way we like it. The torture is back. Giants lead 4-2. Some of the sights and sounds of this exciting ball game, including these 3. And it'll be Hunter Pence to lead things off, facing Harris. Look out as Harris spins one over the head of Hunter Pence. I got to take that back. It's David Hernandez.
41st time that Hernandez has come in. Kind of an off year for Hernandez, but he does not lack for stuff. Mid-90s fastball, big hard curveball, and a changeup. 41 strikeouts in 41 innings.
And it's outside to Pence. It's 2-0. The managers of both teams using up the entire roster tonight. Pence drives one to right, and it's right at the right fielder. Parra, 1 out.
Good at that.
Don't forget to check out Sportsnet Central tonight after Giants postgame live right here at Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area. Here's Francoeur. Francoeur takes high. Francoeur's got an RBI. He walked with the bases loaded. Kensuke Tanaka is on deck. Two 2-0.
Easy take. Francoeur with good power. Giants hoping to catch lightning with Francoeur the same way they caught lightning with Pat Burrell in 2010.
Francoeur with a big cut and a foul straight back. 2 balls and 1 strike. Up the middle, and Francoeur is going to have a hit. You don't have to swing hard with a guy like Hernandez. He will supply a lot of the power.
You're right. Mid-90s fastball. I mean, that's power. So you can take a little swing off, think back up the middle, and do exactly what Francoeur did. Just well placed, right through the box, right through the mound, right through the infield. He gets himself on base here for Tanaka.
Here's Tanaka. One ball and no strikes. Giants trying to add on here in the 8th. Francoeur gets back easily. Francoeur leaning. He does not go. And a swing and a miss on a high fastball. It looks so good coming in. How about Beltai?
Well, good movement away on that fastball too. Running away from the left-handed hitter. You're sitting in a 1-0 count. You're looking for a fastball, and you will follow one out of the zone at that velocity. And Hernandez, no fool, going right back up there again with 96. And that really is the advantage of being a hard thrower. Guys that chase a hard fastball with the mid-90s or above velocity much more than they will with average fastballs.
Tanaka, potential double play ball. No, as Tanaka beats it out.
So this becomes a base stealing situation. And for Tanaka, he is an excellent base stealer. Pence, Francoeur, good friends. Pence, first guy up there, offering congratulations. Small things like that make the new guy feel comfortable quickly.
Heroes takes down low. Outfield shading Heroes towards right center field. Tapped foul. 1 ball and 1 strike. Heroes is 0 for 2. He drew a walk in the 6th.
Wide open gap in left center. Diamondbacks jam the right field gap, thinking this ball, if it's hit to the outfield, it's going to go to right center. With Tanaka's speed and 2 outs, the Diamondbacks are not playing doubles defense. If Quiros could find a gap right here, he might see a score.
I would think so.
Kirk Gibson knows it. And all those throwovers to first base are being called by Kirk Gibson, Diamondbacks manager.
swing and a miss. 1-2.
Good curveball.
And Quiros is going to go around, and that'll end the inning. So we will go to the 9th. Sergio Romo's coming out. Goldschmidt will lead things off. 4-2 Giants. The Giants.
New pitcher now for the Giants will be Sergio Romo. 40th time he's come in, 3-4, 22 saves on the year, 2.78 ERA. And you can see what he does against right-handers. He hit a .187 against them. League just hit .213 total, which is outstanding.
So Romo comes in. First hitter that he'll face is Goldschmidt. Goldschmidt tonight, he has grounded out 3 times and he's struck out. First pitch is just a bit wide, 1 ball and no strikes. Wide again, so it's 2-0.
Goldschmidt 3 for 7 lifetime with a triple against Romo. So he knows him. They know each other. And it becomes a chess match. But now, in a 2-0 count, a 2-run lead, he's got to get in that strike zone and challenge.
And he does. And it's 2 balls and 1 strike.
Back towards the little 2 center and nails the outside location. You cannot count on corner strikes with this strike zone tonight.
Off of Romo. Sandoval charging, no play. And Goldschmidt's aboard.
See that ball hit off of Romo. I'm not sure if it caught hand or what. But Mark Grusbeck and Bruce Bochy are going to come out and check it. And he's saying, no, it did. It hit me in the glove. So, about a leadoff base runner for Arizona.
Should this inning be any different than the last 4?
No.
The leadoff hitter got on in the 5th, 6th, 8th, and now here in the 9th.
So Romo swings that glove hand just across the body and catches most of the line drive. And indeed, it did catch the glove, so he's fine. That's good news.
And the open hand is right behind the glove. So here's Hill. Hill is 1 for 3. And he skies this one out to center field for Andres Torres. 1 out. In a lot of parks, every ball that's hit in the air, the oohs come out because they think it's going to go out. Doesn't happen here.
Yeah, if you get one here, you got to earn it. Although later in the game, in most instances this time of year, it's a little bit easier to hit them out than it is early in the game. Winds blow hardest here from 3 o'clock to 8 o'clock.
They're supposedly letting Sergio Romo know that he is not going to hold on Goldschmidt. And that's because the hitter is a left-handed hitter in Miguel Montero. Goldschmidt will go, and that's bounced to Posey. 2 down, down to second, Goldschmidt. Prado is the hitter, and he's 1 for 3. Goldschmidt at second. A bit of a hanger, and he fouls it straight back, and it's 0-1.
That might be the best pitch he's seen. He's never had a hit off of Romo. He's 0 for 5 with 2 strikeouts. He has been hit by a pitch.
Little flare to right, and it's a fair ball. Coming in to score is Goldschmidt. Stopping is Prado, and it's a 4-3 game. The importance of that is keeping Prado at first.
With a slider, they sit on the outside corner, and it sort of hangs right out there at the belt. And Prado gets it right out the end of the bat, and this is a perfect Dutch snort. Just fair by about 6 feet, so Diamondbacks not going away easily.
And here's Cody Ross. And a fastball for a strike, and it's 0-1. Prado now the tying run, and now Buster Posey back to holding Prado close to first. The 0-1. Swinging a foul. Out of play, 0-2. So now the sellout crowd, over 41,000. All standing with a count of no balls and 2 strikes to the former Giant, Cody Ross. Got him! And that's the ball game. Romo goes with the high fastball, and the Giants have won their first 2 games in this 3-game series, and now they find themselves 4.5 back of the Arizona Diamondbacks. This one had some stuff to it.
Well, it had some fuzz on it. 7 relief pitchers come to the aid to preserve the win for Matt Cain. But really some timely hitting and some big-time pitching out of the Giants' pen. And now they've won the series, and they have a chance to get greedy tomorrow.
Greedy tomorrow. Very good word, greedy. Final score here at AT&T Park. It's the Giants 4 and the Diamondbacks 3. Esurance Giants postgame live with interviews and the wrap is coming up. But first, let's go to Sportsnet Central Studio for an update.